Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we need to talk about Microsoft yet again. Unfortunately, we have news of more layoffs coming out of the firm. We are seeing more layoffs coming out of Microsoft this month, this article being published on September the 11th. Microsoft continues down the warpath, making cuts both big and small across its organisation for the fifth month in a row. The Microsoft layoffs are minor this time, around 42 jobs are being axed in Redmond. The link between Microsoft job cuts and the company's AI investments is very clear to see, but the evidence doesn't soften the blow for employees. Microsoft layoffs are happening for the fifth month in a row. They are constant, and there's an anxiety that comes with that for employees. And we all know this, right? We've heard in many a big business right now the amount of essentially anxiety, the amount of depression that can come with always fearing that your job might be lost. Again, on top of this, you are seeing news from what's been going on recently. We are seeing new reports from the Seattle Times confirming that it's entering the fifth month of consecutive layoffs, albeit in a smaller scale this time round. The company's Redmond job cuts amount to about 42 workers as mentioned, but this brings the total number, again, much higher. The Washington-based employees now, the number is set at 3,200. The total number affected by layoffs since this May is over 15,000. That in itself is very telling, right? Over 15,000 jobs lost at Microsoft in the last couple of months, really. That's really the amount of time it has been. And you've got to really put into scale how large of a number this is. Again, Microsoft's job cuts in May and July measured both 6,000 and 9,000 respectively. The number of cuts mentioned in filings for June and August was a little bit smaller. So you can kind of see what's going on here, but the trend is still a continuous one of decline, right? In terms of job opportunities, in terms of job security for many employees, and in many a business we are seeing this, affecting employee morale, and it appears that Microsoft is another one. So we can see that from LinkedIn to Xbox, each segment of the company's business has been affected by layoffs in 2025. The job cuts have been linked to AI ambitions, with an investment of $80 billion announced for 2025. The company has doubled down on its on how central AI is included in the operations. At the same time, we have news from the CEO, who has to acknowledge the way that trust with employees is right now. As I say, this is going to be affecting people's mental health, people's work health, the way people feel towards a company that employs them. And of course, the CEO is apparently now coming out and acknowledging this. Article written on the same day, the 11th, and we can see that Microsoft CEO has told employees in a Thursday online meeting that the company has work to do to smooth relations with employees. This was in response to concerns that have been raised following several rounds of layoffs and demands for a partial return to in-person work. CEO says, "I believe we can do better and we will do better." But at the same time, right, this is a huge company. This is a lot of people whose jobs are being impacted. And again, you can see this here. The company has work to do to smooth out relations. Will this ever be done though? Does the company actually care? Well, let's have a little look. I deeply appreciate that, and the question and the sentiment behind it. This has been said by Nadella in an audio that was obtained by CNBC. I take it as feedback for me and everybody in the leadership team, because at the end of the day, I think we can all do better, and we will all do better. Again, this comes as the firm has slashed 9,000 jobs in July, and obviously 15,000 in total. We see this at a time where again there's more expectations on employees. Amy Coleman, Microsoft's Human Resources Chief, said at the Thursday meeting that the reception of return to office announced has been mixed, with some feeling like workers are losing autonomy, but she said that employees in and around Seattle already come in on average 2.4 times each week. Like most of the tech industry, Microsoft went fully remote during the pandemic, and obviously they want to get back to where things are right now, citing that there are benefits to working in office and the like. At the same time, we know that in July, Microsoft has reported a 24% increase in net income to $27 billion. The company's gross margin was under 69% compared to 71% in late 2023. It's rapidly building and renting data center infrastructure to meet artificial intelligence demand. So I'm going to leave you guys to make your own opinions up on this one. Kind of crazy story that we have coming out of Microsoft, right? Again, it seems to be quite rare that you do get employees or you do get CEOs, I should say, that are going to apologize for this sort of stuff. But at the same time, what can you really say, right? Employees' confidence is naturally going to be affected. You're going to expect this with such controversial policies, such questionable decisions, and again, cuts which are going to genuinely impact people's lives. I know it's all numbers at the end of the day, guys, but we're talking about people's jobs here. We're talking about people who are genuinely being affected, and this must be acknowledged when speaking on this subject. So, of course, wishing everybody well. You know, it's a very difficult time out there in the jobs market. But yeah, this is the latest. So tell me what you think to this in the comment section. I'm sure you will. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again.